A disabled photography student in Bournemouth has travelled more than 850 miles on buses to highlight the challenges faced by disabled people on the public transport. Dan Bowhay from Bishop's Waltham in Hampshire is visually impaired. He travelled for up to 10 hours a day, catching 26 buses from Land's End to Berwick-upon-Tweed. The 22-year-old student at Arts University Bournemouth has made a documentary to highlight the problems faced by bus pass holders. You can hear from Dan, who'll be talking to Alan in the next few minutes. Complaints about substandard living.
The sound.
The sound of.
The sound of the South.
Alan Newman.
At breakfast. BBC. Radio Solent.
In January, a photography student from Arts Uni Bournemouth, from Bishop's Waltham by the name of Daniel Bowhay, set off on a journey from Land's End. His destination, the Scottish border. His mode of transport, buses.
I, a disabled traveller and bus pass holder, prevented by my disability from driving, attempted to see what freedoms the disabled pass really returned to me. Whilst I was ultimately successful in my journey, it was far from simple. I undertook countless hours of planning to ensure a smooth journey, and ultimately it took me 10 days to reach my final destination.
The resulting project is called Between These Times, which consists of a short film and a photo book as well. But Daniel has plenty of reflections on public transport. I bet he does. He joins me on the line now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Take me through the process then. Is it something that was bubbling away in you, a sort of deep frustration? You thought, actually, I'm going to do it and I'm going to let people know what it's like? Or did you think, actually, this is a nice arty project, I'm just going to go for it?
No, I mean, it really started, I grew up in Hampshire, living in Bishop's Waltham, and in sort of the last 10 years, I've seen the bus service decline from 3 routes to 1, and currently living in Bournemouth, knowing that once I graduate and go home, being able to travel and live independently is very restricted by the services that we have there now, and also concerns with the disabled bus pass, and that it was introduced to try and give more freedom and mobility for disabled people, but it's got this limit of being only able to travel in off-peak times from 9:30 in the morning till 11 p.m. So it's not really possible to use it to commute to work, go to hospital appointments, or just to use it for leisure before 9:30 in the morning. And also concerns just in general with service quality. The service is at a point where there's 5 private operators that carry 70% of passengers. In the last 10 years, £1.49 billion has been given to shareholders, and 3,000 routes have been cut or amended in the last 10 years.
You got a lot going on there, Daniel. You got a lot of things to hit, a lot of targets to hit with your darts. Let's talk about the bus pass in its essence. Do you think for yourself, a young man starting out in life, and you're going to go on and work and do all those things and, I don't know, be a famous artist or whatever it is you choose to do, do you think you need the government to provide you with a bus pass because of your visual impairment? Or do you think that actually you should buy it and get a job like everyone else?
Well, I think that I'm kind of in this situation where I am disabled. I've got no choice other than to use public transport. Regardless of how much money you put into it, it's always never going to be quite as equitable as using a car, not going to ever be as quick. So providing disabled people with this pass that helps them out in that aspect, and for people whose disability gives them a lot more additional costs, providing this pass and taking the cost of travel away from them is a great help to a lot of people.
Yeah, good rebuttal. I like that. Talk to me about the quality. Now, I have done quite a bit of work with people who are blind or have visual impairments, and it never ceases to amaze me that some areas can be full of quality and thoughtfulness, and other areas can be devoid of it completely, almost like the disability doesn't exist. What did you find when you were travelling the length of England?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the planning that went into it, I mean, I spent a lot of time going through timetables, which to begin with are not the easiest thing to read and understand. A lot of them were changing along the way. As I was planning, they were changing. As I was on the trip, the timetables were changing. So that was a big aspect in the planning, especially down in sort of Cornwall, Devon and up through to Bristol. there was a lot of times I was waiting around for long connections or buses that weren't showing up, being 30, 40 minutes late.
Can I ask, do you, Daniel, have a system where you know the bus is coming? Is it an audible system, so your timetable talks to you? I'm conscious, as someone who is sighted, that I stand at a bus stop. I probably experience similar frustrations to you with regards to punctuality, but I've got a constant update that I can see, the little digital sign saying bus is 2 minutes away, bus is 1 minute away. That helps enormously. Do you have a similar version that's accessible to you?
I mean, in some places in Bournemouth that exists a bit, but often the times are not accurate enough to actually know what's coming down the road. And to be honest, in a lot of places along the trip, that didn't exist. And then sort of other accessible technologies on the bus in terms of it telling you what the next stop is, and having screens to say that as well. Of the 26 buses I took, only 3 had audio, 1 had a screen. So
Cool, that's something, isn't it?
They were really not widespread, no.
Yeah, to be on 3 decent buses. That's from Land's End to the Scottish borders. To only experience that 3 times is really, I mean, that's unacceptable on every level, isn't it?
Yeah.
Daniel, it's an intriguing project that you've taken on. We've got to leave it there, but how can we find out more? Is your film going online? What's happening to the finished piece of art?
So it's going to be in a couple of shows over the summer at the Arts University Bournemouth from the 10th to the 21st of July, and also in Copeland Gallery in London from the 31st of July to the 3rd of August. And also follow me on social media, just search Dan Bowhay, and you can find out when it will be online at a later date.
Dan, thank you for your time. Good luck with the project. Dan Bowhay there from Bishop's Waltham, an art student at Bournemouth University, the Arts University, who travelled on his bus all the way from Land's End all the way up to the Scottish border and filmed and got his journey down as a piece of art for us all to sort of see through his world, his worldview as someone who's visually impaired. 17 minutes past 7.
The sound.
The sound.
The sound. The sound of the South.
And all the music you love. The music you love.
BBC.
Radio so